Welcome back to Actually, You Know What? Today with me is Mal.
This is the show where we make our Corona Rita nights into content.
Ooh, yeah, we remember how we told you guys that we stopped drinking for a minute?
Yeah, we also didn't we record that kind of drunk?
We also were tips while recording the episode about talking how we didn't want to be tips anymore. Mind you.
Oh.
Well, because when it all actually happened, we decided
a month ago.
Yeah, we decided to record other episodes, and we were like, let's save that one for when we have the time to kind of really pour into that, because we knew it was going to be a longer, more serious episode. And because the premise of it was to talk about the things that made us cry. And like it had been so long since then, and we kind of do that sometimes where we're like, yeah, dude, we got to stop drinking. And then the next weekend we're like, so anyways, there's a new bar opening up. You want to go?
We talked about it where we were in a bad mindset to be drinking at that time. But
right.
We did a lot of chit chats, a lot of, analyzing and cutting things out, and we weren't drunk either. We were like wine tipsy.
Yeah, it was wine tipsy.
Last episode. So tonight we decided Chili's. They did a siren call. They did a little ah, and we're like,
huh?
What's that?
I could hear it.
And then
did you hear that?
It was the tune of a Love Island themed margarita.
In the distance.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
It's like echoed in the background. It's like when TikTok does those remixes and they slow down music and echo it, reverb and everything. Somebody needs to do that with Love Island.
They need to.
That's exactly what Chili's did, and it called to us, and we decided to plan a night around it. Like I said, we wanted to do that community episode separately because we knew it was going to take up a little bit more time, and we wanted to split them up, which we did talk about in the last episode that was released. So tonight's episode, we are going to talk about the other thing that made us cry. And like Mal said, we were not in the greatest mindset that night when we went out drinking. And today we're going to kind of talk about why I was not in the greatest mindset that night. So essentially, the night that Mal and I went out and we got, a little two drunkies, was less than 24 hours after my breakup with my partner. And we decided to go out, which we had already had plans to go out.
Yeah.
Decided to go out, and it was obviously, let me preface this all with, drinking is not the answer. It's not how you get over a breakup. However, it did help me a lot in that moment where it was a distraction. It was nice to go out, just get away.
Right. And let me just also say, I gave her an out. I was like, we don't have to go out tonight. If you're not feeling it,
you have to keep drinking.
Remember what you said, sir.
No, you did.
I gave her it out. So, but we had made these plans like she said, like a little bit in advance. So we're like, no, let's keep it. Let's try to, like you said, it's like a distraction.
Yeah.
It's like something fun to do. It was the weather was nice.
Yeah, we yapped about things that were on our minds and everything, and ultimately we just drank too much.
And then we drank too much.
And then we forgot to eat, which was our biggest problem, I think. Yeah. So, but it was fun until it wasn't, like we said before. And it did allow me to be distracted for the night. So today we're kind of going to get into, the breakup, not in detail as far as, what happened and whatever else, but more so just because I already did all that with Mal. We talked about it. We beat a lot of dead horses over it. And it was all about a month, because it happened about a month ago now. We kind of talked a lot about that. She kind of helped me through basically getting through it. And today it's not going to be the details of the breakup, but more so just kind of lessons learned, patterns, just, takeaways, and everything revolving around it other than, the details of the breakup itself. So we're here to beat a dead horse one more time, which we'll continue to do.
I'm sure it'll keep coming up.
They'll keep coming up. So, yeah, I mean, the thing about the breakup itself is that the breakup was not the hardest part about everything. It wasn't that I was so broken up about losing this person necessarily, because I think this person was just ultimately not a good fit for me, and I was not a good fit for them. It was more of like, in the moment, what I was feeling was a loss of like potential, what could have been, future that I maybe had glimpses of.
Yeah.
Just things that I had seen that weren't necessarily there. And that's what it was really hard to wrap my head around.
Yeah. Well, you also said a couple times though that you mentioned it multiple times while you were dating this person that like you're not going to marry this person.
Yeah.
Like you had mentioned that. So I don't know if that was something that like what kind of future did you see if that's not what the future you saw? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that was something that you mentioned to me last weekend, which was because I had told you like from the first time I started dating this person, I had said like it's not like I'm gonna marry this person, and you were like, well, if that's how you felt, why did you keep dating? And I was like, honestly, it was somebody that like I got along with, and I liked who I was around this person, and I had fun with them and everything. So I was like, well, let's see what happens, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like we were dating for a year or anything, but we did have a lot of fun, and there were things that surprised me about this person and how much fun I had with them and whatever else. I do think that I never saw like the end. Like I never saw an end goal. I don't want to say not the end as in like the breakup, but I never saw what like my goal was, which my goal in the future, and maybe that'll change, but it's to kind of have my own land and kind of do what like you and Roy are doing, where it's like have my own piece of land, have my house on it. Like I eventually would like to have animals, turn it into some kind of animal sanctuary, do like, what things that I want to do. And I didn't see that person next to me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And it wasn't somebody that like I envisioned, and could I have gotten there someday? Maybe. But like thinking about marriage or, getting married, being in an altar, whatever, I didn't see that person. And
yeah, I don't either. I definitely see someone that would be more like gung-ho about certain things.
Yeah. And I think we've talked about this too, where I've never seen anybody. I think it's been I think maybe since somebody I dated like over fucking 2 decades ago maybe, or like a decade and a half ago or something, like I might have been like I could see myself having kids with this person. Even the person I dated for the longest, I couldn't see myself like having children with that person. And so it's something that I need to be better about and more realistic about. But it's also something that, like, there's a part of me that feels like it's unrealistic to think about that, too. Like, if that makes sense. Where I'm like, okay, well, I don't see myself, I don't see that person at the end of the aisle waiting for me. But is that a realistic thing for me to think after 6 months of dating? You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right.
I do.
Yeah. So...
I think you need to find a happy medium.
Yeah.
Maybe not, like, I see this person being... everything after a few months, but can I see a possible like maybe not you don't think about like the specifics, but does this person seem like somebody who would be standing next to you and supporting you and doing the things you want to do in life and like that kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's something that I tried to envision a little bit more with this person too, and the guy that I dated last year as well, is that like I tried to envision like if I was sick, would this person be taking care of me? If I had a baby, would this person help me with that? Like, would they be there for me? Because something I saw in, like, a TikTok or, like, a comment or something one day was that, like, whoever you marry is going to be the person that is going to get you through, like, the loss of people in your life. And, like, that was something that hit me so hard because I'm like, that is going to be the worst day. And to think about like who's going to be next to you during that is like really important. Yeah. So no, I couldn't see that person. So I think it was just like, let's see what happens. And I mean, we had issues for a minute, and it took us until the end of May to break up. But I think we should have broken up before. And I think it's also just like losing somebody that you talk to every day. You get used to like the morning routines and the good morning messages, the good night messages, the how are you doing, the like, just the routines of communication and everything. And you get used to having somebody there, even if you're not seeing them every single day. And that is hard to lose. And I think it's also hard to lose, a person that like I was having certain experiences with. We would go out to like going out to dinners was like my favorite thing to do because they like to eat food too, and like that was like something I love to eat and try new things all the time and go out and be out and everything. So this person enjoying that was like cool, and I know that's a very bare minimum thing, but I dated somebody last year that like didn't really eat, so it was like, you know, it's like, wow, we can't even enjoy going out to dinner,
right?
You know, so you know, just missing somebody to experience those things with and everything. So I think that made it all the harder to do. And it had been a long time. It had been 6 years since I had dated somebody IRL.
Yeah.
So I think
because your last couple things were more
long distance
through the internet, and to phone and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it was definitely harder to let go of that, to be like, damn, like it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, we'll kind of talk about like the patterns as far as, you know, patterns in dating and everything, and this is going to be super fun for me, but some of the red flags that I ignored that you kind of saw me ignore also, and, you know, you were really good about like not pressing me on it, but being like, hey, just keep an eye out for this. And
I remember you saying the things you were concerned about in the beginning of dating this person, and I was like, I would be more concerned about this.
Yeah.
But right. I wasn't like mean about anything. I wasn't like, why are you dating him, you freaking idiot? I was more like,
hey, maybe we can talk about this and not that.
Yeah, just keep an eye on that. Like, you know, like, you know.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely like when I started dating this person, they were in a profession that I had dated somebody else in, and that ended really poorly. So
you had a lot of trauma from that.
Yeah, a lot of trauma from that. So that was a really hard thing for me to get over and to get through. And that's kind of what I was worried about. Not so much the other stuff that he had going on in his life. And, you know, he had a kid, and that's not something that's a deal breaker for me. But it is hard to date somebody who, you know, has a child and, you know, is still, you know, has some sort of involvement with the mother of that child, father of that child, whoever.
Yeah, you have to be a very specific person with a very, like, healthy, like, open communication type of co-parenting lifestyle. I feel like to really, as the other person coming in, feel comfortable with it.
Right. Yeah, and that's a hard thing to walk into. Yeah, it's a really hard thing to walk into dynamic wise and be like, okay, well, where do I fall in all this? You know, because like you have your entire life, and where do I fit in? And, you know, it's also like, just, they had gone through a breakup that was fairly recent, and that was something that like I let it go because I know I have broken up with people or gotten out of relationships and started dating somebody a few months later, and I've been all in with that person, and I, you know, there was no involvement, there was no talking to that other person or anything like that.
All you can do is really try to believe what the other person is telling you. If they say, I'm super over this, then what else are you going to do but believe that?
Right. And that's like what I did is I was very, I don't want to say very open, because there were things that obviously upset me and that like rubbed me the wrong way. But I did try to be fairly open and fair about it, and I think I was pretty good about that, considering. But yeah, as far as like green flags now, I know that like, because every relationship that I have been in, I try to take away some lesson or something from it. Because if I don't, then why did I go through it? You know, it's like, well, then what? I just dated this person and we broke up and that was it? Like, no.
Right, there's got to be some kind of positive spin on this.
Right, I had to have taken something away from it. And essentially what I took away from this relationship was, what do I need in order to, like, make sure that I'm feeling loved, that I'm feeling cared for, that I'm feeling reassured, and whatever else. And I think for me, the little things, just like asking me about myself, like, hey, how is this going? How did that work project go? How is your day going? Like little things like that like I didn't realize like guys don't ever really ask me. And I was like, I'm always asking you about stuff and how things are going and how is this and how, like, where would you not care? Like,
yeah, that's definitely not finding the right guy, because I feel like most polite humans would think of doing that. You know
just
what I
like
mean?
normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah, just things like that. You know, asking me about my day, asking me about my job, asking about my friends. Like, I just wanting to be involved.
Some interest. Remember?
Yeah.
You mentioned to me that this person never even like looked up your podcast, let alone listen to a minute of it.
That was something that like I'm not asking whoever I date to be like a fanboy of it or whatever, but to like not ask me anything about it, like not support it.
Or like,
in
what
any
did you
way.
guys talk about today?
Yeah. Like, what was the topic today? How did it go? Like, I mean, there might have been, if I had said like, oh, we just finished recording, there might have been, how did it go? But there was never like, what did you talk about today? Like, it's not how I was involved with their, thing. And granted, this is not a career for me, and what they did was a career for them, but like I did ask questions and I was involved and I was watching what they were doing every week and I was like, hype and whatever else. And until I was like, why am I doing all this? And it was a little bit harder for me in the beginning because again, they were in a profession that I found very hard to, be around. But at the same time, I did watch it and I did hype and I, whatever else. Right. So
you did the best you could. And you did far better than
they did.
Yeah.
So, and then I think wanting to meet my friends and family, which I know is like, I feel like it's a bare minimum thing, but at the same time, I feel like when you're dating, especially now, people are just so afraid to move too fast, to move whatever. And like, my thing with introducing this person or any of my exes to my friends, especially the older I get, is I'm more hesitant to introduce them to my family. But, like, I want them to meet my friends. But, like, if there's not that eagerness in them, like, if they're not excited to meet my friends, then I'm like, I'm not excited anymore. Because I'm like, why aren't you?
Yeah.
I would be excited to meet your friends.
Right.
So.
But then we make that a rule now going forward.
Yeah.
Within the first couple of dates. Maybe not the first one or two, but within the first, like, handful.
Within the first handful, yeah.
You need to meet the friends because... Like, are you going to be weird?
Yeah, there has to be that, especially because you are my closest friend and I see you multiple times a week and we hang out all the time. We talk every day. So it's like, you're obviously a huge part of my life. So this person has to
It's like family light.
Yeah.
It's like I'm basically your family extended in a way. Where, like, if I'm going to be hopefully in your life for the rest of our lives, like, and we care about each other as if we were family. It's like, you need to get along, at least be somewhat decent to my friends,
right? You have to like at least be able to carry a conversation. Like, I mean, you're not a hard person to get along with, and like, so if you can't even make it work with like you have a good sense of humor and like everything, it's not like you're a super serious person that like is hard to get along with. So if you can't even make that work, like, oh my God,
what are we doing?
What are we doing? Then like, what are you just gonna be miserable at parties, at bonfires, at events, etc.? So that's probably going to be the second like biggest thing for me. And then like the follow through, because I would get a lot of, and not just from this person, when I'm talking about these things too, it's not like specifically this person. I'm saying these are things that I've learned along the way, and some of them might be a little bit more amplified now and whatever, but like the follow throughs of, oh, I have been thinking about taking you here, and then 3 months goes by and you never do. Or, oh, I thought about, we should do this. And then, months go by and it doesn't happen. Right. It's like, okay, well, what are you doing then? What is like all this, I want to, we could, or like we should, or whatever. And that's like, you never plan anything. It's like.
And if it's already happening in a dating scenario where you're dating for someone for a year or less, then it's just going to get worse. Because the more comfortable and the more time you spend in a relationship, the more like things kind of start going to the wayside, like, life gets in the way, and we're like, we have to focus on the bills right now, we have to focus on this right now and that, like, and then you forget, like, 3 months goes by, like, oh, we haven't gone on a date in 3 months.
Yeah, we haven't done this.
Yeah, so if it's happening already, it's like, it's only gonna get worse.
Right. Yeah, and I think going along with, like, the whole we should have, or I wanted to, or whatever, kind of, like, goes hand in hand with the potential that I'm very guilty of, like, seeing the potential in people in general, and more so in partners, where I'm like, he's a good person and he's this and he's that, and I could see him doing this or whatever else, and it's like, but he's not doing that. And I'm really bad about about that, about being
Yeah.
like, well, they could be this, and it's like, no, but they're not. So stop. You know, it's something I do a lot in friendships and in relationships, and I need to start taking things at face value, and I'm really bad at that. Like I'm really because it in my head I'm like, oh well, what if they were going to? Like I get really caught up in the what ifs.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's hard, especially when you're still in the, I feel like even 6 months, you're still in the getting to know someone phase.
Yeah.
So you don't really know how people move over a longer period of time.
Right.
Like, speaking, if I'm like trying to think about something I specifically would do, like, I could see myself going to the gym 4 days a week, but will I? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of like that, where it's like,
right.
yeah.
I would love to do this, but
I get what you're saying. It's
yeah.
just it's hard because you know how you are, so you're like, I could do that, so maybe then maybe they'll do that, and
right.
you just don't know when you're getting to know somebody.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the other thing is trying to differentiate chemistry versus compatibility, because one thing that I did tell you about this particular relationship is that I felt more of myself. I felt like I could be more me. I was a lot more comfortable being myself and being silly and being whatever and not putting on, a mask or a show and whatever else. And I kind of just let it all out. And that is something that I think, as you and I were talking, I'm like, I don't think that had to do with this person. I don't think it had to do with how they treated me or who they were. I think it had to do with I hadn't dated anybody in person in 6 years, and in those 6 years, I've become more comfortable with myself as a person.
Right, yeah. I feel like it comes with a lot of things, but age is one of them, where you just, like, eventually you're just like, I'm just going to do what I want to do. Because,
I gotta
like,
do what I'm going to do.
Like, I want to enjoy my life. Like, I'm not going to pretend whatever.
Yeah, you just can't keep pretending forever. Like, I'm not going to wake up and go put on a little bit of makeup because I don't want you to see me in the morning, or I can't, like, hold in the silly things that I do or whatever else, or whatever. I'm going to be like this. And if you don't like it, then, like,
there's the door.
Then we don't work, you know? And I guess I was just more comfortable with myself and confident in myself in that way. And I think I related it to him, and I thought it was partly.
I'm glad you edited that, because don't give him the credit. You know what I mean? Like,
right. No, I and that's how I was in the beginning, where I was like, I think it's, he brings out this side of me, and I was like, wait a minute.
Maybe I did that.
No, it's not him. It's just how I am, and I'm just more comfortable being me now, and I think that is how I am, especially, like, when it comes to dating, because it was like that before him, too, where, like, I'd gone on dates with, like, a friend of mine, and like a guy that I met on Bumble, he's from out of state, and he's like the sweetest guy in the world, and I was totally myself around him, whereas, like, 5-6 years ago, me probably would have tried my hardest to be like this perfect, like, date or whatever, girl or whatever else, and with him I was like, I don't fucking.
That makes me so happy, because that's how I've always been.
I've never been like that.
I love that, because I've never thought about doing that with someone. I was like, maybe I wouldn't burp, but, like, I'll do that date too. You know what I mean? Like, I love that you're doing that, because that's you don't want to pretend to be somebody around the people you want to one day maybe love. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think that's something that it took me a long time to get to have the confidence to do that, to stop masking, where it's like I wasn't masking to pretend I was a good person so that they would date me. It was like I wanted to mask because I didn't want them to see that I wasn't perfect all the time. Yeah. And I think when men mask, I think it's totally different. I think men do it because it's like, well, if she sees how shitty I am, then she won't date me.
Right.
And it's like, with me, it's like, no, well, if he sees that, like, I'm not perfect all the time, which I think is different.
Yeah. If you are shitty.
Right.
Then, yeah, if you go out in public, you should mask, but also don't date.
But then, maybe don't date for a while. Maybe lock it up.
Don't be shitty. I don't know.
Or don't be shitty. Yeah, that works too. But yeah, I think, kind of going back to that night and how I felt, the first while, and I still get, pangs of it here and there, where I did start feeling defeated, or I was defeated, right after the breakup, because I was just like, I guess it has to do with my age too. I'm 38 years old, and you kind of start thinking, is that one of the last decent dudes out there that like, he's nice and he's funny and he wants kids and he has a good job.
He doesn't have a rage problem.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't have an alcohol problem. Like, he doesn't like beat me. He doesn't. It's the bare fucking minimum. Is what I mean. Is that like you kind of start thinking, like, did I let go of somebody that could have been one of the last like
bare minimum,
decent bare minimum people? And I think it's an age thing. I think I wouldn't be thinking like that if I was 28.
Right.
I would be like onwards and upwards. And now, well, at least for a minute there, I was like, it's really hard to find somebody my age that wants kids.
The clock is always in the back of, especially women's minds.
Yeah, for
especially
sure.
women that want kids.
Right.
It's always ticking in the back of your head, and like sometimes you let it get to you. I think
it's hard not to. Yeah, that's all you hear.
Right.
So that was something that was in the back of my mind when we first had broken up, and you kind of start asking yourself also, like, was I too much during this? Did I think too much about this? Did I bitch too much about this? Did I do too little with this? And that, I will say, that is something I don't struggle with as much these days, with the did I not do enough, because I do a lot.
Yeah.
And I know that is something that I'm very confident in. Almost like when it comes to work, I'm very confident in my career and work because I bust my ass for it. I feel that way in relationships too, where it's like I try really hard to be involved, to make things special, to like be there for that person, and to be the best kind of partner that I can be. So I don't really struggle with that, the am I enough anymore.
Yeah.
But I do sometimes struggle with the did I do too much?
Am I too much?
Yeah. Did I do too much as far as like was I too reactive? Was I too this? Did I
over-explain?
Yeah, did I over-explain?
That with someone before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that, but I don't think that you are, because you're not doing it in a toxic way.
Yeah.
When you are having your moments of anxiety or whatever the case, you always are like explaining why you're feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
You're never like yelling about it. You're never like
I've yelled.
But only in reaction to how they you know what I mean?
You're right. Actually, you saying that now is like, you're right. The reason I did spiral is because of things that they did.
Right.
That were shitty things. Thinking about it now, it's like, you did the shitty thing, and that's why I reacted the way that I did. And then you reacted and made me feel even worse about it.
It's like, you're mad at me. You're the one that gets to be mad when you did the shitty thing to begin with, and you're just upset about my reaction to it.
Yeah, and now you're upset because of my reaction to your shitty thing.
Right.
Which is pissing me off even more. And I can get pretty mean when I get reactive. And that's something that I put on here as well. This little outline was like, I know I can be reactive and I can be whatever, but you're right. I become like that because it's something that is really shitty. Like, I find out something, it's a thing that hurts me, and then I get fucking, like, I just kind of spiral out of control, and sometimes I say mean things, and like, I always apologize for them, but sometimes I don't, because I'm like, you don't deserve an apology.
Well, and I don't think saying the truth is always a mean
That's
thing.
true. It's like, it's
sometimes
not...
you said stuff that was just true.
Right. It's like, I didn't call you a loser. I said XYZ.
Yeah, it wasn't like you're big ugly piece of shit.
Right.
You said X, Y, and Z that were just,
and that hurt me when you did this, and
true things.
Right. It's like it sucks, and like, you hurt my feelings, and the way that you react, instead of reacting in a way that's like, hey, I'm so sorry, I wasn't thinking about it, or whatever else. Like, if you're gonna double down on that shit, you're gonna piss me off even more.
Right.
So definitely something that, like, again, I struggle with, but at the same time, if I had somebody that was reassuring and gentle and understanding, then I wouldn't react that way. There would be no necessity for those kinds of crash outs or whatever.
Right.
So I think that kind of goes into like the standards, and what I'm looking for, especially now, is like recognizing what emotional safety looks like, and not taking on the emotional labor, which is something we've talked about. We talked about that in the toxic masculinity.
We talked about that in what's the word? In totality.
Yeah.
The other couple episodes ago.
Yeah, it was, I think, the toxic masculinity episode where we talked about how essentially we're arguing with ourselves because some men don't know how to communicate, and the weight of their communication falls on us.
Yeah.
And
they basically say, here's my jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
You do it.
I don't know how to explain it. You do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, when you said that, did you mean this? And then it becomes something that, like, okay, now I'm arguing against myself. Now I'm tired. And, like, now I don't feel reassured. I've reassured you plenty, though, because I figured it out for you. And it's almost like I'm self-soothing over here. Yeah. So it's like, well, then why am I here?
I can do that on my own by myself.
Yeah, I can literally do that without you. So it's like, yeah, again, going back to, like, the emotional safety and being with somebody that can, you know, if I am saying, hey, this is a concern of mine, I need to talk to you about this, for them to go, happy to talk to you about that. Absolutely. Let's talk. And handling it in a gentle way and not being defensive and not being, like, condescending, not being argumentative and whatever. And then, like, when you handle that in a way that's gentle, then it's like, oh, okay, we're good.
Right.
We're totally fine. And, or, you know, if I am overreacting, for somebody to tell me that, hey, I think that actually, like, it seems like you have concerns that are not really, like, you're concerned about something you shouldn't be concerned about. Let me explain to you why. Mm-hmm. Versus you're overreacting for no reason. That's like a bullshit.
Yeah, that's just something that's going to make someone more pissed off when they
sweep it under the rug. Because, and then it's like, you're giving me a non-answer.
Yeah.
You're overreacting. Why am I overreacting? Like, explain it to me.
Why do you think that?
Spell it out for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, just kind of being clearer about what I'm looking for, and kind of, and this is something that I know is cheesy, but I did it. I wrote a very detailed list of what I'm looking for in the next person, and things that I can budge on and things that I can't budge on. And it's more of a reminder for myself to be like, no, I need these things.
I feel like sometimes, like, I know how your brain is.
Yeah.
I don't know how your brain is, but I can visualize it because I don't have ADHD. Mm-hmm. Like, I might have something, but I don't think I have what you got. Because I know, like, you get very distracted, and sometimes just writing it out, it's like you're putting all the mess into, like, a more organized thing for you to look at.
Yeah, it's extremely helpful to have that, and I should have done that with this person, and I started to with this person, where I had a notes app of things that...
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And I remember being like, oh my God, I'm not happy. Like...
If you have to open up an app, that's usually the first nail in the coffin.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, this is... Like, I would look at it and be like, I forgot about that. That shit sucked. Like, and wait a minute, they didn't even apologize for that. And, like, because, yeah, I forget, and I told my parents this too, I'm so quick to forget, because they do one nice thing and I forget about the way they made me feel the day before or whatever. So I'm like, wait a minute. So yeah, writing lists and stuff like that, it works for me. So, I mean, I think kind of moving on from that, as far as the post-breakup thing, you know, the post-breakup lessons and what I've learned, and what I'm trying to still kind of learn, is how to trust myself and to not need the list, to kind of trust myself from the beginning and go with my gut instinct and go, okay, Stephany, do you actually like this person? Is he good for you? Think about it. Really think about it. Is this person good for you?
Yeah.
And I knew from the beginning this person was not. I knew we were not compatible in many ways. I knew that we were going to have tough obstacles in multiple avenues,
right.
Like in multiple things.
Not just one thing.
It wasn't one thing. It was multiple things that were working against us. And again, I got clouded by potential. I got clouded by how I was feeling with them, and whatever else. And not to say he's a good person, but he was not my person.
Yeah. 100%.
And I think I kind of fall into this pattern of, there's an episode of Sex and the City where Carrie goes to therapy, and, like, the therapist tells her problem is that she keeps choosing the wrong guys. And that's essentially what I'm doing, because I feel like a lot of the time I let a guy choose me, and I need to stop doing that.
That's a good way to put it, because I feel like that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
That if you like a guy enough, and then that guy also chooses you, then you just kind of let it happen.
Right.
Even if it's not necessarily the best choice for you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I need to just, like, trust my gut more, which I'm really bad at. I feel like sometimes I'm really good at trusting my gut, and then other times I'm like, no, I think I'm fine. And I need to be better about it. And I guess it just kind of gets... You start to wonder, like, is my judgment broken? Am I off? But it's like, no, it's just that, like, you're putting too much faith into people. Like, I do that with friendships, too.
Yeah, I think you balance me out, because sometimes I'm too quick to shut the door in people's faces.
Yeah.
And I'm helping to balance you out where
Definitely.
you are starting to, like, have more discrepancy with people. Like,
Yeah.
this person isn't for me.
Right.
Like, I don't need to be a bitch to them, but I don't need to do anything for them
I don't need
anymore.
to go further.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what I should have done, and I did in the beginning. And then I was like, well, I'll give it a chance. And my gut instincts.
The narrator in the
Yeah.
background, and
And
that's
no.
where she went wrong.
So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, the first couple of weeks of it were pretty tough. And, you know, like I said, there's still moments here and there where it's like, oh, you know,
Bummer.
Yeah, bummer. But, you know, I try to remember that, you know, healing isn't linear. That's what I've been told a lot. And it's true. I understand that. Like, some days I feel great and, like, happened, like, even right after the breakup, where some days I was, like, fine. I was good.
Right.
And then some days I was not good. I was just, like, I couldn't concentrate on anything. There was days where, like, with work, I couldn't focus on work. I was like, I'm not doing shit today.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't do this.
I think that's any hard thing. It, like, comes and goes. Where it's
Yeah.
like, you just have a day where you're like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Whatever, I'm great. You're
I'm
skipping.
good.
And then the next, like, one day just hits you and you're like, oh,
I'm
I'm sad.
Yeah, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
And, you know, some days it was great and everything like that. And then some days I would see, you know, a color that was our color, or a song that was our song, and I'd hear them together, or hear and see them together, and I was like,
a song that sings about the color?
No, literally, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
It became a TikTok trend, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, come on. And it made me feel like I was regressing almost, where I was like, and I've said this to you before, where I was like, is the universe trying to, like, fucking punk me right now? But I think that there was sometimes, and I think I feel like this more now, where I'm like, I think it's more of like the universe being like, you're going to be fine. You're good. Like, it is okay. These things existed outside of this, and they're going to continue existing outside of this. And I've told you about, like, all the other little things that have been happening that have been really fucking weird. And I'm like, yeah, maybe it's just...
I think it's also one of those things, you know, like when you get a new car.
Yeah, and you see that car
and then
everywhere.
you start seeing that car everywhere, but you didn't notice it before.
Right, yeah.
That's the same thing.
Yeah,
I feel like it's like you notice certain things because your attention was brought to it, and now it's like all you're looking for.
Right.
So after a little time and healing, I'm sure you'll start noticing it less.
Right.
You know,
that's the hope. But
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But yeah, I mean, as far as like the next relationship, and I kind of already talked about this, but what I want to bring into the next relationship, whenever the hell that happens, hopefully not anytime soon, I'm not ready, but confidence, and not confidence revolving around like what I look like or anything, but more of like confidence in myself, and confidence of like standing my ground. I know I'm doing the sincere thing, the sincere hand gesture, God. I need to like be more confident in what I'm asking for, like more confident in standing my ground and being like, hey, this is what I need from you.
Right.
And when they say I can't do that, believing them and walking away the first time and being like, got it. Like, cool. And then just doing my own thing and not being like, okay, well, I'll compromise with you. I'll compromise with you.
That is the epitome of a good relationship.
But, so I think confidence is like the biggest one that I want to bring into it. And then I know we talked about this a little bit ago, was like how reactive I am to things. And I think being less reactive, having less of a reaction to things, to people, to whatever happens in a relationship, like not allowing myself to be upset in the heat of the moment and not allowing myself to get angry, but to let myself sit with those things and talk to you about it first, talk to Rock about it first. And not just that, but like be able to sit with myself about it.
And like, I feel like so wild. Love Island kind of had that.
Yeah.
That whole, like, what the scenario you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
There was one girl that was pissed as hell, and she went off, and, like, rightfully so. The guy was he's a douchebag.
Terrible, yeah.
But she had already kind of gave it to him before for the same thing, and
it was constant with her, yeah.
It was almost like this recent episode. It was almost like, girl, it would have been way more, like, noteworthy if you had just been like, all right, you know what, fuck you, bye, like, I'm done, and
right.
And then the other girl that, like, I was saying, like, you kind of sometimes had reactions like Anaya in your past, and then I had more reactions kind of like Melanie. So Melanie had, she got pissed off at her man too, she got sad, whatever, and she was just quiet.
She just shut down,
and she was just like,
which I loved.
Taking it in. Yeah. And I told Stephany, I was like messaging her while I was watching it. And I was like, that's like how I react to things that really hurt me. I usually, unless it's like someone really pissing me off and I'm like drunk, sometimes I have more violent reactions.
Sure.
But usually it's more like I just shut down. I'm just like, all right, I'm done. Like, I'm just going to go, or I'm just going to walk away, or whatever. And I think that is sometimes more powerful.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. That's how I want to be. I would love to, like, and that happened towards the end of this last relationship where they said something to me and I just went like, okay. Like, I didn't even have it in me to argue anymore, and that's what reminded me of, like, Melanie, and that's how you are, is you're just like, got it. And that's how I want to be. I want to really work on that part of myself that just accepts the information and takes it and collects it for data and then processes it, and then maybe later on goes, hey, let's have a conversation about what just happened or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm more like an Aya where I just like, I'm heated and I need to yell about it for a little bit.
And like I said, I can be like that, but it's not if somebody wrongs me super bad. It's like, if you're pissing me off about something silly or like something that isn't going to ruin our relationship, but it's pissing me off, then I can be like Anaya. Yeah. But if it's like somebody really fucking like destroying the relationship or like just
like detrimental,
like a stomach dropping moment, then I shut down.
See, I'm the opposite. When I get that, like, got that stomach or your heart in your ass, when you get that, like, or when I get that, I need to, like, walk.
It's like it's like you get like more like amped up, and
it's like a fucking, like I told you, I'm like, it's like a bottle rocket inside of me, and I'm gonna fucking explode if I don't do something. And maybe I need a punching bag or something. But like, I can't describe to you how I feel. I will literally shake. Like, I will be. That day was when I'll tell you about which exact instance it was, but there was one day where I think I had called you. I think maybe it was messaging Rocky, and I was just like shaking, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do, and I just called him and like reamed him out because I was like, I don't know what to do.
I know what the instance that was. Yeah,
and I was like, I don't know what to do right now. Yeah, I was like, I wish that I would just shut down and not do anything, because I think that that's way more powerful, and I think that sends more of a message.
Oh, imagine if you just like deleted his number, blocked him, and then he never heard from you again. And I know,
but that would make me feel like shit then. You know what I mean? Like, that's
I know, and that's the thing, you're too nice. Like, yeah. That's like definitely the issue too, because you can be reactive. Right. And maybe not the best way sometimes. Right. But you're also so nice. Right. So
my anxiety would be like, no. Yeah. But I wouldn't need to do that with this particular relationship, because we are fine. We're on good terms. But like, I just want you to imagine how bad bitch that would be. I know. And I think that's how I'm going to be.
Try to channel more bad bitchery.
Yeah, it's like, if that shit were to happen again, to where somebody like puts me in a position to where I'm feeling like that, I think that's what I need to do next time, is just bye later.
At least for like a couple business days.
Yeah.
If you want to talk to them after a couple business days, then
like
unblock
2 to 3
them.
business days, and I'll be back.
Right.
I'll be back after the long weekend.
Yeah.
like,
I need to not see you or hear you. Or
I need to not hear your voice for a little bit, or see your fucking bubbles come up.
Fucking dot.
But I think another thing I'm going to be looking for sure is going to be healthier communication from their side, which is something that the last few guys that I have dated, it's been a real struggle trying to get any sort of communication from them that is healthy.
Little communication, a little bit of emotional intelligence would be nice.
Yeah, exactly. Is somebody that can just tell me how they are feeling in the moment and tell me what's going on in their head, and not just when it's convenient for them to tell me, or bring it up while we're already arguing about something else, or, you know, bring it up months later. It's like, why didn't you bring it up then? Because sometimes I do things that might hurt people's feelings, or that might come across a certain way, and I don't mean it like that. And sometimes I just don't think about things, because you know how my brain is. I'm always thinking about 1,000 things at once. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I might say something and not mean it in a way that it's taken, or do something, and that, like, that is an argument that I've run into before. I'm like, well, why didn't you say that when it happened?
Right.
Why are you bringing this up a month later? Because I don't remember now. I don't know if I did it on purpose or not.
Right, exactly. It's hard to, like, explain yourself and try to remedy the situation if you can barely even remember the situation.
Like, was I there?
Yeah.
I don't remember this happening. So that's a huge one. And then I think the last 2 are going to be, like, boundaries, and just what I need out of a relationship, being able to talk to them about that, you know, because I had conversations, and I've had conversations with guys over the years about, like, hey, when it comes to social media, when it comes to this, like, this is kind of what I need. And, you know, I get a lot of pushback on that. And I know social media is not important to everybody. For me, and this is something that I posted on the Instagram, which a lot of people agreed with me, if you are active on social media and you're posting about every aspect of your life except me, that's really fucking weird.
Yeah.
And I think I have a right to, one, voice that. I for sure have a right to voice that and tell you. And if I get any sort of pushback, I'm good. Like, I'm out. I'll wash my hands of it. Like,
yeah. Hopefully going forward, the next person you decide to try a relationship with will just post you.
I mean,
and it won't be a weird thing you have to, like,
convince them to like post a photo.
I think it's just like a
or
natural progression of any friendship or relationship. Like, oh, I'm gonna take a photo, and, like, if I like a photo, I'm gonna post it on social media, because that's what you do on social media.
That's what people do on social media. And for anybody that says, oh, it's just social media, suck my butt, because it's not just social media.
Then don't have it. Then literally delete all of it.
If it's just social media, then why are you on it for multiple hours every single day?
Right.
So, and that's what I'm talking about, because a lot of people were like, well, if they only use it for business, like, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not telling you to, like, post me on your fucking, like, business account where all you do is post wooden statues that you create.
That's like that bean soup thing on TikTok, where it's like someone was sharing a recipe about bean soup. Yeah. And then someone in the comments is like, well, what if you don't like beans?
What if I'm allergic to beans?
Then
oh my God, then this isn't for you.
Watch this video and don't eat it. Like,
literally, I was like, why are you guys coming up with scenarios that, like, don't apply? Like, right. So that's why
Common sense, guys.
I had to, like, come up with a whole thing that was like, okay, I'm talking about if somebody is actively posting themselves, their friends, their family, their entire lives, their fucking dogs on social media, but they're not posting me, then do you guys think it's a red flag? And the overwhelming majority of people said yes.
Right. You had to, like tell every
and
little
detail.
A
couple people were like, no, and I'm like, side eye.
Yeah, because
most of them were men.
Yeah. That don't post.
Yeah. And I was just like, okay, whatever. But again, going back to it, if it's not important to some people, that is completely okay. That is your prerogative. That is your right. If it is important to me, if I am your partner, then why are you not doing it?
Just do it.
Then just fucking do it. Like, I'm not telling you to wear a t-shirt of me and wear it around town. Like, I'm telling you, I'm asking.
Although, I might make some t-shirts, and the next guy you bring around, I'd be like, if you don't fucking wear this, I don't fuck with you.
And also, if you don't post it on your social media, and I better not see that green fucking circle at the top. It better not be close friends, brother. It better be public. But no, and just not just that, but, like, social media is not the biggest thing, obviously, because, like, I know multiple guys have been like, oh, well, it's just about you just want me to post. Yeah, no, that's not what this argument is about. And if that's your takeaway, then like you're not paying attention, because like it's a lot of other things, but you keep focusing on social media,
right?
Because it's the thing you won't do. So like, and also like, I don't know, it's just a whole.
Well, it's like, if you really want to get into it, we could probably have a whole podcast about this.
Probably.
But like, why?
Why
don't you want to post?
Why don't you?
Because you want to keep some avenue of your life open for talking to other people.
Yeah, you want your DMs to stay open just in case somebody, because when people post that they have significant others, people might not show as much interest. Okay, well, why do you want interest from other people?
Right, like that's where this whole argument comes from, because I'm sure that's like, anyway, yeah, like you said, we could talk about that forever.
But yeah, not just that, but like meeting my friends and family, like we talked about earlier, where like that's a super important thing to me, and for them to want to, like for them to be like eager and willing to, and be like, yeah, I would love to meet them, I would love to, not just like, yeah, cool, okay,
yeah,
well,
sure.
Yeah, which it's happened before. Like, oh, do you want to like come to this barbecue? Oh, yeah, I guess. Okay, well, you know what? Never mind. Like, because that's crazy. That's a crazy answer. So, and then like I think the last thing as far as like boundaries and keeping things fair is just like date nights, planning things, like dates and events, and like keeping things fair as far as like I paid for dinner yesterday, you pay for the next one, or you know, I'm gonna cook dinner here 2 nights this week, and then they take me out to dinner or whatever. Like keeping things fair.
Counter argument: in the first few months, no.
They should be paying for everything.
Yeah. Well, they should be putting more effort in than you do, because you're a prize and men are stinky.
You know what? Valid. That is so valid.
Yeah. Then going forward, sure, if you have a partnership type of relationship, then that can be more equal.
That is something that my dad and I talked about, because he was like, you do too much for these guys too fast, and he's like you're cooking for them, because he was one of my exes, the most recent ex was allergic to cats. That's something I will never do again, by the way. I will never date somebody that's allergic to cats,
or if they're allergic to cats, unless they
take care of it, because I was doing so much to ensure that like not a single fucking cat hair would touch them. And, but so I won't ever do that again. But my dad was like, you're doing too much. Like, you're cooking for them, you're cleaning, you're doing this, you're making them lunches. He's like, why are you doing this for somebody that you've only known for a few months?
1,000%.
And I agree. I just like what I told my dad is I'm like, that's just how I am. Like, I don't know how to not be that way, because to not be that way feels inauthentic. Like, it feels like,
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to cook here and there for somebody, but I don't think it should be expected.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you should have been like, hey, I can cook this day, this week.
Right.
And then leave other planning up to the other person.
Right. Yeah, then nothing would have gotten done.
That's what I'm saying.
Right,
and then then you know that.
Point. Right,
And then you know that, and you know, this person isn't going to share some of the fucking work.
I do need to be better about letting people fail me. Like, I need to be better about, like, instead of setting them up for like success and setting them up for whatever, I need to just let them show you who they are. Right. I need to just let them like, oh, well, if I didn't say this, then he probably wouldn't have planned dinner, or we wouldn't have eaten. Okay, well, let him. True, but I have a really hard time doing that. But it is something I need to work on.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that too in the past with my relationship. I've like, if something's been bothering me and I've mentioned it many times, like, I'm going to use this example, even though this isn't really a true example. Like, say a man leaves their dirty clothes all over the bathroom floor, and you've asked multiple times, please pick that up. It annoys me. I don't want to have to pick it up. And then they don't do it. Then I've literally stopped doing things and let it just become disgusting. Right. And then they'll say something and I'll be like, well, it's not my job. Right. Like, I'm not here to do that for you.
And that's what I should have done. I should have been like, yeah, I'm not making dinner tonight. And I had told you, I was like, I should just do that. And I just couldn't do it. And I need to just like
take your put your big girl britches on and just do it.
I know.
Swallow the hard pill.
I need to build up to that shit where I'm cooking and cleaning and making dinner, like making lunches and making
there needs to be that. I feel like that should come from you wanting to do that for somebody because they are deserve it and they like fill your cup and like
that's true.
You want to show them like your appreciation.
Yeah, I think that's my thing is I do it from a place of like these are the things that I am capable of. You know, this is what I can do, and it's like, why am I doing that? I already work full time.
Try to act like a good host in the way of like a friend is coming over. You want to make sure you have, I have water, I have a soda, I have a snack.
Yeah, a snack.
And that's all you need to do. Right. That's a good host. You don't need to go out of your way and whatever.
Yeah. No, you're right. I do need to be better about that. But yeah, and then the last thing I think I have as far as like what I'm going to be looking for, whatever in the next relationship, are just allowing myself to be curious and having questions without feeling like I'm being
not nosy, but like demanding of information
I'm not trying to get information out of you, but there are things that I'm going to question. There are things I wonder about. Why you're still friends with your ex, why? Or you still talk to this person, why? Just little things that if I have questions about, I think I should be able to ask them. And I think that I'm allowed to be curious and whatnot and not feel like I'm being intrusive. That's what I was trying to say. I'm not trying to be intrusive. These are things I'm genuinely curious about. And just like I've told the guys that I've dated too, if there's ever anything you want to question me on, by all means, do it. There's guys that I talk to that are my friends. Please question me on it. I want you to.
Right. It's not like you're usually not asking things like, what was the most devastating thing that happened in your life? Tell me every detail.
How many women have you slept with? I've never asked that before. I would never. Yeah. They don't need to know mine either.
No. Yeah. It's not like, you aren't asking things like that or that, some people could be like, well, if you're asking these type of questions, that's toxic. But you weren't asking things like that. You were asking simple like, oh, I saw this came up. Like, what does that mean?
What does this mean?
Who's that?
Like, hey, curious, who is this person? Yeah. Like, hey, how come this or whatever? And it was always like, never in an accusatory way, but, I always try to be really gentle when I bring things up. Now it's almost like I'm talking to a toddler. Like, I'm just curious, like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Talk quietly.
And then, just ultimately choosing somebody that shows up for me constantly and shows up for me in ways that I'm not asking them to or telling them to. Like the last two guys I've had to tell, if you're going to ask me to be your girlfriend because it's like come up, like it has to be in a cute way. I don't want to do that shit anymore. You ask me in a cute way or like I'm going to assume I'm not your girlfriend. Right. Like that's just how that works. And like I don't want to have to tell somebody, oh, I think we should be doing date nights. I don't think I should ask for that. I think that should be a fucking given. Right. Yeah, 100%. Like I think that you should want to take me out on dates, actually. Yeah. Crazy.
It should not be, I want you to be a good person and hold my hand and give me a kiss. Like, you shouldn't have to spell it out for these rules.
Like, I think that you should want to take me out on cutesy dates maybe once a month and not me begging for them. Like, do you think that we can go, like, maybe we can go on a cute...
Maybe you can buy me a cheeseburger.
Can you, like, plan a cute date night this month? Like... Why am I asking for that? That's crazy. Yeah. You and I plan cute date nights for us.
We literally just went on one.
We went on a cute date. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all the lessons and all the nonsense that I've learned, and I'll have a podcast, like a solo podcast, where we kind of talk about some more personal type stuff that I've learned and whatnot. But I guess I wanted to get your feedback on it because I know we talked a lot after the breakup, obviously, right? And I think we talked about this one more than my one last year because I was closer with this person. I dated them for longer.
Well, yeah, it was real life, like you said.
It was like in person. So I think that's what ultimately obviously made it harder and, and all that fun stuff. So.
Well, feedback as in how I feel about, like, your breakup? The feedback I would say is, like, and I know we talked about this before, I think you handled it really well. You're getting better and better every time, like, difficult situation like this comes up. Yeah. Where you're just you're voicing the things that you want. You're stronger with your convictions, I guess. Like,
yeah.
And I know you say you want to work on X, Y, and Z, but you have been working on stuff.
Yeah.
And I think you're only going to get, closer to how you want to be.
Yeah.
From now on. But I think, I don't know. I think you handled it really well. I don't know. Is there anything specific feedback?
No, I guess I just meant like as we were talking, just like kind of having the conversations that we did and everything regarding all the stuff that we talked about. I know, it's been, like I said, it's been a little bit over a month or about a month or whatever, and I feel like things are only getting better.
Yeah.
And whatnot. But yeah, now we have a fun round. A little fun. And we're going to end this segment with a little lightning round. I thought this would be kind of fun because I've done this before with guests, and I was like, we've never done this with us before.
Yeah.
So, questions can be either yes or no, or they can be long-winded. They can be whatever kind of questions, but it does have to be like a quick, like, answer of some sort. So, if you want to go first, or I can go first.
Let's do me first because I feel like mine are gonna take longer.
Okay.
Because this podcast is more around you anyway, or this episode, I mean.
No, the whole thing is about me.
It's all Stephany all the time.
All the time. Question number 1. When it comes to dating, so when it comes to me dating again, what is a must that I have to start doing if I start dating again? If and when?
Oh, we've already kind of gone over this, but I think you must be like, I don't like that. You know what I mean?
Cut it off.
Yeah, be more willing to be more honest with yourself and just like end things when it doesn't feel right.
Okay. What is a hard fuck no for the next relationship?
Someone that doesn't have good hygiene.
What is something I should stop doing in relationships altogether?
Acting like a wife from the beginning.
What's something I should start doing more of in dating and relationships?
Oh, this one's hard because I feel like you're a really good person to be in a relationship with. Dude, I guess just having more, like, not you time, but having more, being more selfish.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. All right. Think of the perfect guy for me. Off the top of your head. Get it in your mind. Top 3 traits.
Decent looking. Like, kind of life of the party, but like not in an obnoxious way. Like,
okay,
more like
not center of attention, but like the guy that people are like, dude, that guy's awesome.
Yeah, invite him over. He's fun.
We love that guy.
And handy.
Yes. Okay, that's a good one. Do you think that I change when I'm in a relationship?
I think you used to a lot, but I think you're getting better. I don't think you do that as much.
And if you give me any advice as somebody who is married, happily married, in a relationship, what would be your number 1 advice to me?
You gotta trust your gut, like you said.
Trust your gut. I like the way that you said that. I wish people could see the way that you looked at me.
Trust your gut.
Yeah, trust your gut. That was very, like, PBS of you.
We hang out with a toddler too often. Good job. Trust your gut.
Elmo says trust your gut. Terrible Elmo impression. Oh, God. Sorry. That's really bad. Don't make it a thing.
Like a train. Choo choo. Okay. My turn for questioning.
Let's do it.
Okay. 1 word to describe dating so far in 2026.
Fucked.
Red flag you ignored in your recent relationship. Just one. Just one.
Got out of a long relationship just a couple months before we started dating.
Green flag you'll never compromise again.
Green flag I'll never compromise again. Compromise. Doesn't like cats.
What's the first thing you did after you were...
I'm sorry, I meant likes cats.
Yeah.
is a green flag.
I get it. Okay. Yeah, I got it. What's the first thing you did after becoming single?
Get drunk with you.
Puke wine all over my room.
Puke wine all over your pretty rug.
Okay. What song have you been listening to on repeat lately?
Ooh, Ghost. I think it's called, what is it called? Mary? Or, hold on, let me look it up really quick because I just played it a little earlier. Oh, Mary on a Cross by Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of Ghost lately.
This is more like, general dating.
Got it.
From now on. Okay. You have to pick first date: coffee, drinks, dinner, or an activity.
Ooh, coffee.
Phone call or texting, which is better?
For dating? Texting.
Soulmates, do you think they're real or not?
No.
Long distance relationship?
Yay
or nay?
Nay.
Is timing just as important as compatibility?
Yes.
Do you think the spark is overrated?
No.
And do you think closure is overrated?
Yes.
I thought you were going to say that. I have another little segment I want to do because I was coming up with questions, and these ones, like, I kind of asked Chad about a couple of these.
Oh.
But these ones were really interesting to me, and they're would you rather, and I love would you rathers.
Okay, I love would you rather.
Would you rather be ghosted or slowly faded?
Oof. Slowly faded.
Would you rather accidentally text your ex or accidentally call your boss babe?
Ooh, accidentally text my ex.
Would you rather go on 5 mediocre dates or 1 amazing date that never leads to a second?
Oh, man. 1 amazing date that never leads to a second. That's actually on my gratitude list.
At least it's like a good memory, a good story.
Yeah.
Date someone funny but broke or rich. We talked about this already. It's funny but broke or rich and boring.
I know that this is going to sound really bad. Rich and boring because I've dated funny and broke.
Yeah, I said there'd be stipulations on this one.
Yeah, there's...
Because if I'm rich already, then I'll be okay having a funny broke dude.
Right.
But if I am how I am right now... I'm funny enough for both of us.
Well, there's so much more to that question, though, that we could easily break down into probably an entire episode of a podcast.
Okay, next episode title: Date someone funny but broke or rich but broke.
Right. Well, there's just so much more to it.
Would you rather know your relationship is going to end in a year or never know when it'll end?
I'd rather know.
Would you rather stay single for 5 years or go on 1 terrible date every weekend for a year?
Do I get good ones in between?
Every weekend?
Wait, stay single for 5 years or go on a terrible date every weekend for a year? Do I meet the love of my life at the end of that year?
Let's say yes.
I would rather do that, yeah.
Okay.
That would be at least it would lead to good stories for the podcast.
That's true. You could name it the terrible year.
Yeah, it would be a terrible date segment.
Have amazing chemistry, but terrible communication, or great communication but no chemistry.
Oh, fuck.
That's hard.
I think I would rather do great chemistry and terrible communication and try to work on the communication.
Okay, like what you just did.
Basically, yeah. No, what thing is, I don't think that you can create chemistry.
I get what you're saying. Like, it's hard to you can't really teach chemistry, but you can help
I think
someone.
if it was a different person, I think we could have worked on the communication, but this person was not willing.
Depends on what way they're bad at it.
Right, so. Yeah. I think that this person were just they were not willing to budge, so there was no moving there.
All right.
That was pretty good.
That ends my little segment.
Good little lightning round. All right. Well, thanks for beating another dead horse with me, Mel.
Of
I
course.
appreciate it.
Always.
We're going to go watch Love Island and drink the rest of our Corona-ritas that are homemade. But we appreciate you guys listening in. Thank you guys for listening to my relationship trauma. Just kidding. There's
always.
No trauma in this relationship. But
lessons, but no trauma.
Lessons, but no trauma. That'll be the name of the episode. But thank you guys for joining, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Actually, you know what?